This picture of Erika Kirk and JD Vance is going viral on Twitter. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Margaret Mordahl. Welcome to my channel, Virtue Lies in the Middle, where we discuss current topics and try to remain as balanced as possible. So let's talk about Erika Kirk, widow of recently murdered Charlie Kirk. Okay, I'm going to be honest, from day one after Charlie's death, I felt like everything Erika was doing was very performative. From her long, flowing, loose hair as she walked down the airplane ramp, to the photos of her embracing Charlie's coffin, to the fierce, dark makeup she wore when giving her first speech. And I am most certainly not the only person who felt that way. Almost immediately, people began criticizing her for not grieving enough, not appearing sad enough, for dabbing away what seemed to be fake tears. And then she shows up at a TPUSA event at Ole Miss in tight black leather pants, and we get this picture, and the internet goes wild. People are insinuating all sorts of horrible things about Erika, about JD. You get the picture. So what are we to think of all this? First off, let me just say that the she's not sad enough argument doesn't hold a lot of water for me. That's how adults handle grief, okay? They smile at work and they cry at home. And honestly, she's probably throwing herself into TPUSA as a way to not absolutely dissolve into a puddle, to which I say, good for her. If my husband died of natural causes, to say nothing of being murdered, my natural instinct, I think, would be to bury myself in a black hole of despair and depression, whereas hers seems to be to rise above and to fight. But as for the performative aspect, you just cannot convince me that it doesn't all just seem a little fake. It weirded me out so much until I realized that this girl was a pageant queen. You know, she participated in all these beauty pageants. Acting performative is probably second nature to her now the minute she steps on stage. It's probably just part of her personality at this point, which also, I think, explains the black leather pants she was wearing. It's not what I would consider to be the most appropriate attire, but I mean, I wouldn't consider participating in beauty pageants to be the most appropriate thing either. She just has slightly different standards. Now, finally, this infamous hug. It looks very intimate, very prolonged, very inappropriate, if I do say so myself. However, if you watch the video, I think it shows it in a much better light. Watching the video, it seems to be a much more quick, perhaps emotional response than anything else. Also, this picture surfaced of Erika hugging a woman in just the same way, so it seems to be more just a thing with her. So what's our takeaway here? You may or may not be convinced of my explanation of these things, but I think if you're a Christian or a Catholic, as I am, that we do need to be careful of judging others and to try to always pick the most charitable explanation of people's actions rather than immediately jumping to the most dramatic or salacious conclusions. Nowadays, people are so quick to jump the gun, to point out people's flaws, to criticize and find fault with. Why? Because it's interesting. It adds a bit of drama to our day, something to be outraged about. I think this feeling can be addicting in some ways. You get addicted to feeling outraged. You need that constant hit, spark, stimulation, whatever. You need it more and more, and it can infiltrate your life, disrupting the peace and order of your lifestyle, your home, your mind. And I don't think that's the best way to live. We all need to take a step back, put charity first, and to prioritize peace and order over cheap thrills. That's all that I have for you today. If you disagree with me, please do so respectfully in the comments, and I will see you next video.